All right. So I'll get started and then it'll be recording. So kids who miss it will be able to listen to it later, tomorrow, whenever. Um, so basically this was to go over a little bit of structure, um, and organization for the team and just sort of give you some snapshots of how I prepare to teach the kids how to play and then what I compare them against. Um, and how I start to see sort of their development and whether it is on track, not on track, sort of how we can sort of get in the right mindset to get it on track, especially for this weekend. Um, so the first thing would be let's just get a look at our own footage. And this is our last game against the Flyers. And so we're pressing them. They're getting out of the press. And I really just want to take a quick look on our team shape. And that's why at practice this week we were talking about um, transitions. And so transitions are very similar to team shape. So our back line is really well situated, but the center of the field is all over the place. We got one player way out there. We got one player pressing. He's been beat. Our left player, I'm not sure. Oh, that's Barry up there. So he's the left wing up there. Um, And so, in general, we're kind of all over the place, and that was a lot of what I saw. Um, we sort of get back. Luke's probably in the right spot now. Now we're sort of reset, and we're sort of able to defend now. Okay, now we get the ball. Okay, we got one player running for the hills over here, and then our back line is sort of available, not backing out, not necessarily opening up. So let's jump over to this game. This game is Cover Mine 2015. So our age group playing against the 2014 Potomac Red team. And I'll just jump back and forth and then I'll show you our 2011 Red team, which admittedly is about a year older than them at this point in the footage, but you'll see what I start to see. So Cover Mine's about to build out. Okay, they play to the middle, and he beats one player, and then they're out wide. But look what's happening as they're running. The team shape is sort of holding firm. The back line's a little late to get there, but as soon as there he goes. He comes and connects, and they have this nice team shape around the ball. Okay. They're spaced out in order to hit a pass, but they are never a full field away from each other. Okay. And that's one of the things I want to talk about that we can work on is our team shape falls apart a lot of times. We make the right passes and we're looking at our heads in the right place. But a lot of times the players aren't in the right spots. And so that starts to hurt us. Now, as we get older, we'll start to figure out exactly where we need to be. And sometimes we have guest players. They have a hard time exactly understanding what we're doing. No problem there. Um, but in general, the more we get better at team shape. So as Santi's pushing this ball, he really almost has no help. Now he finally gets some help. And our team shape's not too bad there. But the center mids kind of want to split the field. So like Waka and Luke, Waka doesn't need to be there. He can sit about where this referee is because his job is to just hold the middle. Okay.
They watch film and break it down.
So let's look at some other film and we'll look at this one for a little while longer. Let's stop that share. Let's get the media player. Okay. So this is our Jeff Cup game for Aiden's older brothers. This is Tegan. Tegan is going to be number 21 in the middle, and JD is number 2 in the middle. And I just want I want you to watch the press first. So this is FA. They're from their MLS Next organization from New Jersey. This is the championship game of the Jeff Cup. And it was a really, really good game. And at this point in time, we're just sort of doing a lot of things right. We're the red team. Okay. So this is the press as I like to see it. They're going to play the ball one side or the other. This player is going to run in and watch his run. He's curving it. So this player can't cut back and play this player. He ends up getting there all the way there, which is great. It doesn't usually happen that way. Okay. Usually you don't get there. You just sort of push them in a direction. So he gets there. We win the ball really high. They end up still getting the ball, but guess what happens? And this is what I want you guys to see. Is when we win the ball, we don't mindlessly go forward. They play it out to us here. Griffin gets the ball, spins out, goes backwards. He's nice on the ball, tries to get around the corner here. He's going to play it around, mistouches it. That's Teagan, and that's JJ. Touches his hand, but he was going for a switch. You can tell. So they have the ball. They're nice and composed. Beautiful soccer. Going backwards. So this is where I want you to watch it. Okay, so this is our press. This is our center forward. He's going to chase this player, but push him and have him only be one option this side of the field. He can't double back and play the other way. So he's not even pushing that hard. He's just closing that side of the field off, okay? Now the next player is going to come up and watch his run. So that's the funnel that I'm talking about, okay? So even though he's not man marking this 30, the angle of his press made that player not an option, okay? So now the only option he has is this player, and Teagan, now the center midfielder, because he's sitting and he's not pressing, he's able to read this pass and jump into here, okay? This player is checking because he's a good. The whole game was high quality soccer, but he's checking to this ball. He's going to get to this ball and play it out to 30, which if we weren't organized, that would be a disaster because this player is already pressed. But watch what happens. Our left fullback is now in the scene. So her cue is as soon as Matthew, this left wing, runs in, she needs to start coming up and covering this player. So she gets this ball right here. And look at our team shape. So we have width because there's a player out there. He doesn't need to be in the middle next to JJ because JJ can handle that space. Teague can handle that space. That's our center forward. Okay. Our left wing is here engaged in the play. He's about to be the double team. All right. This is our center back and this is our right back. So the key is if this player comes up and gets in here and this player gets all the way up, maybe near that referee, that's where we've been seeing our videos. When we win the ball, there's nowhere to go with it. But because of their spacing, so she's going to get the ball back in play. He's open for a reset. So team shape, they're flowing. Chip it over the top. All right, so let's watch our build out. But does everybody understand the difference between in this press? So ideally, he's even running even harder to put more pressure on him. But his positioning is perfect. He's trying to cut off the field. And then if Matthew runs straight to this ball just gets played out around him. Okay? So as he runs and bends his run off, that player can't play that ball. So he has to play this ball. And over and over and over in this game, this actually works out in this case, but it wasn't working out half of the time. So Teague would jump all over this ball, and then he can thread it right across the field onto the right wing to switch it immediately. Okay? So let's take a look at their build out real quick and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
So we play nice and short. We're calm. We're spaced out. He tries to go forward, doesn't work out. Fine, no problem. Still our throw in. But the whole game we're working for switches. So Matthew is this player all the way out here. Matthew is a big problem for them, but only because he separates himself. So looking at him pressing. So he didn't cut that completely off. But we're all pushing the other team forward and asking for them to misplay the ball. All right, let's watch a little build out now. Here we go. He gets the transition on. No problem. So do you see the run that the forward made? He doesn't sit and do nothing or sit and wait in the middle. He starts in the middle, then he senses this is the space, and this ball is played out here, and we're in business. Okay?
He also makes a curve when he's running for the ball.
Yep.
To stay on side, right?
Yeah.
And look, this is what I want to talk to you about also. So when our wingers, right now, when we play, these wingers take their space and nobody helps them. Okay? And look at Matthew. Matthew makes this run. If he puts this ball right there, it's probably a goal. But look who enters the scene. He's getting double teamed. All right. He's going to find a really nice pass to this player, Tegan here. But she enters the picture. All he has to do is pass it back to him. We keep possession and we move it around the field and probably hit one of these two players in order to score a goal. So this is team shape. Team shape 101. Okay. Ball comes down. Damien's still out in space, the right wing. Chips it over the top. Doesn't quite make it. It's fine. But now we're resetting. We're all flowing over. Backlines. This guy's getting played off sides, I think. And what this team did, the Rosa Red team, we used our outside backs really, really well. They were basically midfielders. And so the ball just kept going through them all the time. Kept resetting. Didn't have to go forward. It's a bit chaotic right now. Griffin. So what we do is circulate back and forth. We hardly ever go forward unless we see a channel that we're going to be successful. And space is really valuable. So kids like Jax, like Austin, you want to get into space, and then there's a cross. He doesn't actually see Damien open. He just knows that a ball across the box is going to be hard to defend. Okay? And putting this ball, JJ just chips it over his head. Putting this ball just in space for Matthew, for our playmakers to be able to make a play is what created all of this. And the speed we have in our team is unbelievable for our age. And so we
Wait,
want
our
to see more of
Matthew?
this. No, this is Matthew. This is the kid who plays for DC United now.
Oh.
And so let's zoom out. So let's stop that share. So press is something we want to commit to, okay? We want to press with our first player, cut the field off. All right. Then the other players want to create a funnel, and our center mids want to just fill that space in. So let's go back to that game real quick, because you never see the center mids press.
So you would always need a left and right wing on your side to press.
Yeah, so you want to push the play to one or the other, okay? Because Austin, many times you're just pressing, and no one's helping you, so you're just running like a chicken with his head cut off, and that's not your fault. That's because we're not super organized with our press just yet. Okay, so now we want the wingers to give them pressure, leave their spot. Then the player behind them needs to fill that spot. Okay. So look how common this is an active play. And he's off to the races. All he's got to do is get a little bit of space. Ooh, close. So let's watch our press here. So he missed that. That's fine. Let's see what our press looks like. And let's look to see who's actually pressing. So it never ends up being the center mids. Okay? So he's doing the same press. He's keeping him over there. Look at that. They play right to him because he's sitting in the right spot. Okay? And that was happening all game. JJ is not pressing. Teagan's not pressing. Teagan actually is the weak side center mid, and he's sitting deep because he wants to watch the play happen. Okay?
Oh, I get it. Whatever side the other team plays it to, it depends. Well,
Yep, exactly.
whatever
So
way they're going.
you want one of the center mids to be conservative. You want him to just hold the middle down while the other kid floats into the space that he thinks the next pass is going to go to. See JJ where he is?
Yeah.
So he's expecting a center midfielder to be there. So he's just playing that ball because Damien is cutting off the sideline. Charlie, the center forward, is cutting off a back pass. So really, that's the only pass he has. And so as long as we're setting up that funnel correctly, we're getting the ball in a really advanced position, and we can pick our pass out. We can shoot from distance. We can do whatever we want. So Charlie's coming again. Boom. Right back to us again. And this is one of the best teams in the country. So the FA is I think they were rated, yeah. And you'll see JJ really gets upset about anytime he misses. So for all you kids who are missing and getting upset, this is your main example. So the press is something that we haven't been able to work on because we haven't had many kids at games. We haven't had full practices, but this is a key component about what we want to do. And so let's talk about, okay, so this is perfect. So we subbed, and a new center forward came in with different angles. Okay, and watch what happens when he takes the wrong angle. So he came too high. He's a little too high. He wanted to be a little deeper. This player just doubles him back comfortably and goes back across. Okay? So, this is going to continue for a couple minutes. The same player that comes in, he's not taking the right angles. That's a nice pass. So basically, there's just objectives with our press, and it creates an advantage because other teams want to play on the back, which is great. It's good for the state of soccer, but we can expose that by pushing them and making them make passes that are more predictable. Okay? Does anybody have any questions? So let's watch a little more of our game, and then I'll let you guys go.
Wait, did Coppermine win the game?
Coppermine, the blue team won that game
Okay.
by a lot. So just take a look at our, let's make this full. So look at our team shape compared to the other team we just watched. We're bunching together a little bit too much. The other characteristic the other team had is when the ball is in a certain area, those players just jump all over it. Okay? But then the other players trust them to do that, and it doesn't require everybody to jump all over the ball. Okay? So our build-out actually happens really nicely. It's not a bad ball. It gets us all the way out. Okay? So let's watch a little bit more of this. So the ball's around, and everyone's kind of just watching it. If we were watching the other game, people would be flying all over the place, closing space down. They never passed up a double team. So, like, when Barry's watching him there, don't pass that up. Get stuck in. So, see how we're all bunched right now?
Yeah.
So, we obviously want to win the ball, but once we win the ball, there's no one to pass it to. Okay? So, if we're all bunched together, we want to be able to ping this ball all around the field. Jax is right on top of Austin, Aiden's really playing midfield, it seems, at this point, and Matthew's engaged with the ball. Bari is not going to be in a place to receive the ball if we win it. Milan is in the middle. So we're all just kind of packed together. So even if we wanted to reset it when we won it, there would be no options. Okay. So as soon as, and what I saw in practice the other day when we did the zone game, if you guys are properly spaced out, you'll find the right passes. I mean, you guys are really smart. You have great awareness. So look at this. Perfect. Got to bring the ball down and connect together. So if we were watching the other game, that center midfielder would have turned out of that side and gone to the other side of the field. Okay. And maybe he needed a little bit of help to be told to do that by you guys. But look how open Bari is. So if Jack spins around and plays it to Austin, Austin comes out this way to Bari, we are in business. Okay? But instead we play the way we're facing, and Milan's not really running into space. The ball isn't the other team has a side of the field totally covered. Okay? So we want to look for the switch. The more we can switch, the more the other team's gonna have to run and chase the ball down, and the more they're gonna be. So there comes a switch. Let's see. Perfect. Beautiful. Love that. That's fantastic, Matthew. Good. Beautiful. Heavy touch. Knocks it forward. We're all right. Little heavy touch. So the other thing you'll find with, if we jump back to the Cop Mind game, look at all of us. Look at all of us together. Is what you'll find is that players are spaced out, but they're very calm with the ball. Okay, they're making good decisions. They're not mindlessly flying forward. Let's watch what it looks like about 3 years from now, and then we'll. So this one, let's watch. This is going to be a Baltimore Armor game versus.
What's that team?
That's Tegan's new team is Baltimore Armor. And so this is where I'm at Covenant Park right now for him.
Wait, what age is Tegan?
2013. Sorry, it's 2012.
Oh.
All right, so let's watch this. So, and the only reason why I'm gonna show you this is because what happens is when you lose the ball, you will have a really hard time getting it back very soon. So, Ironbound is a team from New Jersey. So, Armor has the ball right now. They play it ill-advised, bad touch, and watch. They're not gonna get the ball back. People are playing quick passes. They're moving right back into space. And so Tegan's the left back here. So teams are very cautious with the ball. They can go forward if they want. Look at that. 2 bad passes, and they're immediately in their box. Okay? So the moral of the story is you have to be protective of the ball. As we get a little older, you have to understand, hey, we're going to make smart passes as often as we can and keep it as long as we can, because otherwise we have to hunt it down and try to get it back. And that is not an easy proposition a lot of times. So the red team has the ball. They're in an advanced area. As soon as Armor gets the ball, they want to build the ball out, switching the field, trying to get out of their own half, not necessarily just kicking it forward. Okay, so now they have a corner. So all I wanted to do is show you that the next level is really, really organized. It's really calm. There is place for creativity and for kids being risk averse, but you really have to protect the ball. All right, let's go back to our games. You guys have any questions? So let's talk about build out just a little bit. Okay. I think we've been really successful with build out. We just want to make sure that we're hitting the middle of the field. So when we go to, let's go back to Copline for a second. Colorado Mine is not shy about hitting the middle of the field, okay? Hitting these center mids in order to get the ball out of the back. And what happens is if the kids are smart with the ball, they can move very quickly. And when you play it into the middle, the defense naturally sucks into the middle, and then you play it out wide, and the channels are all open. So the sidelines are wide open. So they kick it out. This is their build out again. So where do they go first? They could have gone out wide, which is no problem. I'm not telling you not to go wide, but there's a reason why they go central. And the reason is that it opens the field up. See, this player would never have come to that player if it wouldn't have been played inside. So now he comes, and now this player is, in acres of space.
Jimmy, you're not sharing your screen right now. We can't see
I'm not.
anything.
Okay,
No.
sorry. Let me share.
And I'm sorry, we're gonna have to sign off because it's Matthew's brother's birthdays today, and we got.
Oh yeah, go for it. No worries.
But we'll
Happy
see.
birthday.
Yeah.
Congrats. Congratulations.
And I'll end in about 5 minutes. So.
Your big brother's growing up.
So you see how spaced everybody is on the blue team? That's Copper Mine. Oh man, they just knock the ball around so nicely. Every kid has good ball control. Of course, when I say that, they lose possession, but look at their team shape too. Anytime they win the ball in transition, they start going downhill. Everybody joins the attack. It looks a lot like the 2011 Red team. You know, the team that in the Jeff Cup. So that's all I want to say to you guys. We want to engage the press in a smart way, okay? We don't want to wildly run with our midfielders. We want to thoughtfully go with a winger and the center forward and then create that funnel, okay? Then we want to think about team shape. So when we win the ball, we want to reset it. When we reset it in our own game, it looked great. And we immediately worked it out the other side of the field and went downhill quickly, okay? So do you guys have any questions? I hope I didn't bore you too much. Aiden, what do you think? How was lax?
Oh, he don't want to talk.
Good.
Great. So, and I don't want you guys to get nervous for the games this weekend. The point of the weekend is for us to have the most fun possible. Okay? The weather is going to be beautiful. We're going to score some goals. We're going to allow some goals. Maybe we'll win a couple. Maybe we'll lose a couple. It's all going to be fun, though, okay?
Guys, lock in. We're not letting them score. We're not losing. We're always winning.
Oh, that's on. Let's go.
BP1. Yeah.
Huh? You said BB1?
Beat P1.
BP1.
Yeah, don't worry about P1.
BP1.
Our goal is to have the most fun, okay?
Buy, win,
All right, go have some dinner.
one and only.
I'll talk to you guys
eating
tomorrow.
my dinner.
Already finished dinner, so can we
Okay.
stay on the call?
Sure, if you want to stay on. Owen, do you have any thoughts?
He's eating tacos.
Tacos.
It
So
ain't
you-
Taco Tuesday. Should've done
Taco
that Tuesday.
Thursday.
It's not
Taco
a thing.
Thursday.
It's not a good thing.
Yes, it is.
Aiden, why are you so loud? You're like, Taco Tuesday.